Hello, I'm Dr. Raghavan Pattathil, retired Chief Scientist from CSIR Government of India. Today, I'm here to shed light on a serious issue of spreading of pseudosciences in our country under the guise of ancient wisdom. This is a critical matter that has been infiltrating the scientific landscape of our nation. We are all aware of the pivotal role modern science and technology have played in driving the comprehensive developments and progress of humanity in today's world. While scientific thinking has been prevalent throughout human history, it found its definitive path and witnessed a remarkable surge following the Renaissance in Europe. It was a period marked by the liberation of enlightened masses from the shackles of draconian religious dictates, laws, and superstitions, particularly those imposed by the Roman Catholic Church in Europe. Ancient India has also made significant contributions in science and technology. We must acknowledge the remarkable inventions and discoveries made by our ancestors, such as Baudhayanan, Aryabhattan, Mahaviracharya, Bhaskaracharya, Brahmaguptan, and many others. Their works were pivotal and relevant to their respective periods. However, it is quite alarming that a considerable portion of the modern population in our country subscribes to the belief, and many concepts of such modern science and technology are mentioned in our Puranas and Vedas. It is true that Vedas and Puranas, composed during 2000 to 3500 years back, are markers of our history and culture. But it is untrue that these texts do contain modern scientific and technological knowledge. In fact, most of the contents in those compositions are superstitions, fanciful thinking, and imagination. Indian Constitution, one of the finest in the world, explicitly states that it shall be the duty of every citizen of the country to develop scientific temper, humanism, and a spirit of inquiry and reform. This is Article 51A(h) of our Constitution. This aligns with the modern global scientific approach, where individuals are encouraged to question any matter and their doubts are scientifically addressed and resolved. It is a reality that a majority of Indians adhere to religious beliefs and myths, resulting in the prevalence of numerous superstitions in the society. Unfortunately, the current trend of pseudoscientific approaches threatens to veer us away from the scientific path and ultimately lead us towards a darker future. There are strong suspicions that this glorification approach aims to capitalize on the ignorance and superstitions of the masses, thus securing votes in the democratic backdrop. What is a scientific approach? Science operates on a rigorous and systematic process to establish events or facts. For a new invention or discovery, the following steps are involved: make an observation, frame a question, formulate a hypothesis, conduct experiments, test for testability and falsifiability, analyze the data and assess its agreement with observation, establish the fact and its reproducibility, etc. How the style of spreading pseudoscience is being carried out. Pseudoscience need only statements and without any supporting evidence or establishment of facts. The dissemination of pseudoscience occurs through various methods, including mixing of myth and fantasies from Puranas and other ancient writings with the modern science, glorifying ancient crude knowledge as the latest scientific achievements or superior to modern science, making false and baseless claims about significant scientific inventions made by others, propagating untested or no proof claims about pre Vedic or Vedic writings, ridiculing great scientists such as Einstein, Newton, Heisenberg, Muhammad al Khwarizmi, Pythagoras, etc., promoting unscientific ideas, spreading blatant lies, and other tactics. Glorifications are made to highlight the old statements which do not have any scientific backing and explanations. Numerous unfounded claims are being popularized today. For instance, plastic surgery, advanced cloning, in vitro fertilization, genetic technology, etc., are purported to have existed in ancient India. Examples such as fixing of an elephant head on a human body, example Ganesha's head, are cited as evidence of plastic surgery, while birth of Kauravas in Mahabharata is explained as being achieved through advanced cloning and IVF in vitro fertilization, and Karna's birth is attributed to genetic technology. These are all sheer nonsenses. Plastic surgery involves this restoration, reconstruction, or alteration of the human body, and it is categorized into two: reconstructive and cosmetic surgery. Modern medical technology has not ventured into head transplant so far. Cloning aims to produce genetically identical individuals, which is not applicable to the diverse Kauravas described in Mahabharata. Similarly, the IVF technique is misrepresented in the narrative of the Kauravas' birth, as it does not align with the modern IVF procedures. The claim of Karna's birth through genetic engineering is also baseless, as genetic engineering is a modification and manipulation of an organism's genes using technology. It is a set of technologies used to change the genetic makeup of cells, including the transfer of genes within and across species boundaries to produce improved or novel organisms. We wonder how such utterances are made when entities such as genes, DNA, cells, etc., were totally unknown during ancient periods. Let us now delve into some of the blatantly pseudoscientific statements made by influential figures and pseudoscientists, focusing on papers presented at the Indian Science Congress, the largest scientific conference in India. The Indian Science Congress is an annual event organized by Indian Science Congress Association, established by two British chemists in 1914, that means more than 100 years back, and traditionally inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India since independence. Yes. With over 1,000 delegates attending, it is considered as the largest such event globally. Now let us examine some of the papers presented in Indian Science Congresses. Let's take 102nd Indian Science Congress held in Mumbai University during January 3 to 7, 2015. For the first time, a new session titled Ancient Science Through Sanskrit was introduced, leading to the presentation of many absurd papers by individuals of questionable questionable credibility. It was claimed during the inaugural session of this seminar that Pythagoras' theorem is Indian, negating its Greek origins. Similarly, it was asserted that the Vedas contain algebra, despite the fact that algebra is credited to the Arab scientist Muhammad al-Khwarizmi of the 9th century CE. Subsequent papers made unfounded claims such as Agastya Samhita explaining electric batteries and Sage Pipalada's Garbhopanishad supposedly containing modern medical knowledge about fetal development in the uterus. These claims lack any evidence or reference, and many of the information are incorrect. Another paper asserted that herbal paste mixed with the cow's urine can locate underground water sources. This also without providing any proof in the paper. Claims regarding plastic and reconstructive surgeries being performed in ancient India, as well as reference to caesarean operations and cataract surgery in the Rig Veda, lacked total evidence. The most controversial paper presented in this conference was on ancient Indian aviation technology, claiming the existence of aeroplanes superior to modern ones before 7,000 years back. This was based on a statement that a book named Vaimanika Shastra was written by sage Bharadwaja about 7,000 years back. This claim was debunked by investigations in 1974 by Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, revealing it to be a fabrication totally. Now, 103rd Indian Science Congress held in Mysore University during January 3 to 7, 2016. Controversial papers were included in this conference also. One presenter blew a shank, asserting that Shankhanada can solve India's health problems, and another author declared that Lord Shiva is the greenest god and environmentalist of ancient India. Now going to 104th Indian Science Congress, it was held at Tirupati Sri Venkateswara University, January 3 to 7, 2017. It was suggested during the inaugural session that Darwin's theory of evolution should be removed from our syllabus, citing the point that our ancestors or ancient writings do not mention this evolutionary change at all. Now, looking into 105th Indian Science Congress, which was held in Manipur University, Imphal, during January 3 to 7, 2018. During the inaugural session, it was mentioned that a more advanced equation than Einstein, that famous E is equal to mc square equation, is available in the Vedas. However, the speaker did not specify in which Veda this equation is included. Now to 106th Indian Science Congress, which was held in Lovely Professional University, a private university in Jalandhar during January 3 to 7, 2019. Dr. G. Nageshwar Rao, Vice Chancellor of Andhra University, claimed during the conference inauguration that Kauravas were test tube babies created through stem cell technology, which is a totally absurd claim. Stem cell technology is a field of medicine that uses stem cells or their derivatives to repair or replace damaged or diseased tissues. They can develop into different types of cells, such as blood cells, nerve cells, or muscle cells. Stem cell therapy can be used to treat various conditions such as diabetes, Parkinson's disease, spinal cord injury, or heart disease. So his statement is utterly nonsense and misleading. Dr. Rao also boasted that Ram's all Astras, arrows, were all guided missiles. Another pseudoscientist, Kannan J. Krishnan, criticized Newton and Einstein, declaring that they misguided the world by postulating wrong theories. He advocated for renaming gravitational waves and gravitational lensing after Indian political figures. Due to widespread protests and against such presentations of fake scientific papers in previous congresses, subsequent congresses that mean Indian science congresses in 2020 and 23 halted the presentation of pseudoscience papers. The cancellation of 109th conference this year in Lucknow was attributed to funding, no funding from DST due to alleged mishandling or irregularities by the organizers. Other pseudoscientific statements by various agencies. In recent times, a concept known as Go Mata science has been propagated by pseudoscientific groups throughout India, making various claims about the Indian cow. Let's examine some of these. Claim number one. Indian cow milk contains gold. That is the first claim. The fact is that the slight yellow color of the cow milk is due to the presence of beta carotene in milk. It is not at all gold. Beta carotene is a pigment commonly found in foods like carrot and having that color, imparting a similar hue to the milk also. Claim number two. Only Indian cows exhale oxygen. Fact is that all living organisms with a respiratory system inhale and exhale air. The claim that only Indian cows exhale oxygen is totally false. In reality, approximately 15 to 20% of the oxygen inhaled is absorbed by the lungs, while the remaining 80 to 85% is exhaled along with the breath. The third claim is burning of 10 grams of cow ghee generates 1 ton of oxygen in a sacrificial fire, yajna fire. The fact is that this claim contradicts the principle of conservation of mass and is therefore totally incorrect. Burning 10 grams of cow ghee or anything will produce products of combustion such as gases, water vapor, and unburned carbon totaling 10 grams only, because left side of the ingredients will be exactly equal to the right side of the products. Numerous other unfounded statements are associated with the Indian cow. Consuming cow dung and urine cures cancer. Massaging cows can cure respiratory issues and reduce high blood pressure. Cow milk and ghee are equivalent to nectar. All 33 crores of Hindu gods exist within the Indian cow, etc., etc. Now let us examine what are the other pseudo-scientific claims. Another big claim is that sleeping with the head towards the north can cause thrombosis due to Earth's magnetic field. This is totally false. Earth's magnetic field is relatively very weak, measuring only 0.45 Gauss on average. The claim that it affects the human blood circulation is baseless, as it is far weaker than the magnetic fields generated by common devices such as MRI, magnetic resonance imaging machines, and loudspeakers, very commonly we use. Magnetic field generated by MRI machine is in the order of 30,000 to 45,000 higher than the Earth's magnetic field is very, very high. Claim number two, Earth's magnetic field can extract iron from human blood. Fact is that this claim is pseudo this is a pseudo scientific claim and misleading. Earth's magnetic field is too weak again to state to affect the iron in blood, which exists in the form of a compound like hemoglobin. It's a protein. This compound do not exhibit the properties of elemental iron, making the claim unfounded. For example, is the common salt which we regularly use in our food world over. Common salt, we know it's totally harmless, but it is nothing but chemically is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, no, it's a compound made up of sodium metal and chlorine gas. Sodium metal is highly dangerous. Suppose sodium metal is it's put in one's mouth, it's immediately, instantly react with the moisture in the mouth, making or generating very dangerous sodium hydroxide alkali, and it generates a lot of heat. So both these make is a hell, and there will be almost instant in the death of the person. And again, chlorine, we know very well that chlorine is a poisonous gas, and continuous inhalation of chlorine will result in death. So, but sodium chloride, which is a combination or is a compound from these two elements, it is totally harmless. It is like that. Now, in conclusion, human curiosity has been evident throughout the history, which resulted in many important discoveries in different time periods in the history. While we respect the knowledge of ancient intellectuals, claiming its relevance and superiority is absurd. Pseudoscientific statements can be dangerous as they may mislead the public. It's crucial to distinguish between scientific facts and pseudoscientific claims to ensure the advancement of genuine knowledge and progress. It is a duty of every citizen of India, as asserted by our constitution, to promote scientific temper and inquiry so as to prevent the spread of unscientific claims and propaganda. Thank you.